Just transition is about creating an inclusive, fair and safe future for all members of society. As we move forward a green economy, it is essential that we evaluate how this shift will impact all stakeholders. In this transition, we should comprehensively address social, economic and environmental issues without leaving no group, sector or workforce behind.
In today, the contemporary ESG transformation surrounds societies, investors, consumers, governments and employees. The concept sustainability carries significance that extends well beyond addressing environmental issues like climate change and resource scarcity. Today, the world, and particularly businesses, aim to rise up to this significance continually, and they are taking proactive steps to bring about this transformation. Just transition means actively changing the way we do our business.
At Tupras, we have initiated the transformation together with People and Society Committee to prioritize stakeholder relations and diversity, equality and human rights. We unveiled our strategic transition plan in 2021, underscoring our commitment to consistently and safely meeting Turkey's energy requirements. And our motto is Energy to the Future. We set an ambitious goal, a 27% reduction in emissions by 2030, and we have a target of being a carbon-neutral energy company by 2050. We prioritize energy efficiency as part of our sustainable refining operations, and also these operations serve as the primary funding source for our investments, which are green hydrogen, zero-carbon electricity, and biofuels. When we talk about transitioning to a low-carbon economy, we know that it will affect all stakeholders, including employees, customers, business partners. Even if we all have collective aspiration for a green economy and equitable society, we recognize that this transition will bring change in workforce competencies, value chain dynamics, and revenue-generating businesses. On the other hand, every stakeholder has a unique set of experiences, insights, and concerns. So the involvement of stakeholders will widen the scope of the transition strategy. I think the whole is greater than the sum of parts. At Tupras, we prioritize sustained dialogue with all our stakeholders, and we have a stakeholder engagement mechanism which we monitor their demands and grievances.
When stakeholders are involved, suppliers, customers, financiers, employees, their diverse perspectives and knowledge can lead to better decision-making and more effective solutions. They can provide insights into the unique challenges and opportunities within their respective industries and regions. And this collaborative approach promotes transparency, inclusivity, and accountability. Furthermore, involving stakeholders and especially communities helps build trust and social acceptance. Transitioning to more sustainable practices, it requires changes in industries, workforce, and infrastructure. By engaging those affected, we can address their concerns, alleviate fears, and almost ensure that the transition is fair and just. The inclusivity ensures that vulnerable groups are protected and their voices are heard. By listening and to valuing the input of diverse stakeholders and communities, transition causes sustainable future is fair, resilient, and beneficial for all.
As industries evolve, there will be a rising demand for expertise in sustainable technologies, and we should learn how to work with a wide range of data, most of it subject to estimation and uncertainty. And also, we should prioritize having a deep understanding of social justice.
Achieving a sustainable transition requires a diverse skill set, both at individual and organizational levels. These skills are starting from the essentials from planning, implementing, and maintaining sustainability initiatives. Combining technical expertise, like engineers for E and psychologists or philosophers for S and business background for G, it is important. Also, interpersonal skills are very important. A deep understanding of environmental and social issues are being highlighted through the ESG manner. This is not only a responsibility for sustainability managers, it is very important. This is a teamwork, HR, finance, operations, and especially it is board's responsibility.
To begin with, you must fully understand what your current value proposition is. Then you need to focus on what your aspiration for the future is and what just transition means for your firm and industry and also country, and what opportunities and challenges you have. I think the materiality assessment is the first essential stage in evaluating your current economic, social, and environmental impacts. This will help develop your vision and establish the transition plan. But you should note that this vision shouldn't be the vision of just C-level. It should be embraced by all employees with a top-down or a bottom-up approach. And the next critical step is to establish metrics to monitor the performance of the company. To do this, businesses should implement scorecards or OKRs for employees and promote transparency by disclosing their performance in their public reports, like integrated reporting.
Well, my initial advice, based on my experience, is that the company needs to clearly define why they are investing in and where they are investing in this transition. With awareness of the reasons, the root causes, they can influence the approach to transition methods. Well, they need to understand what sustainability brings them beyond risks. Risks versus opportunities, They need to reposition their organization, get a reliable and consistent approach to ESG, ensure that the ESG integration to product level or service level. They need to design their products and services accordingly, how to create the appropriate framework for the product, how much of the investment portfolio can currently be classified as green or sustainable, which sustainable finance tools is right to your organization, their organization. They need to work to collect accurate data for reporting purposes, develop a strong ESG risk management framework. It is all risk management. The ESG risks and the risk management, they are so integrated. What are the ESG risks that organizations is exposed to? And they need to focus on the ecosystem. They need to educate both their employees and the investment community. And the most important thing, as we all know, the transparency. All companies need to establish the right structure to provide accurate reporting to their investors and all stakeholders.
And I want to mention that companies should not give up if they face short-term challenges. They should be aware of that this is a long, bumpy journey. Last but not least, investing in workforce development and making it the centerpiece of your transition strategy is one of the most critical steps. When you cultivate an inclusive culture and properly allocate your resources, you can create a resilient and sustainable future for all stakeholders.